Hey guys, welcome back to the second video on the table view. So the first one if you watch my video, you've seen how that we put this together. Now we're going to start actually working on the layout of this aspect. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so over here I'm going to go in the table view, and I'm just going to move this down a little bit to create some space. What we're going to do here is we're going to load our image in here. We're going to add our title and a description of the landmark that we're going to be working with. So what I'm going to do is try to get some space, and then we might change this as we go. But right now I'm just going to move it to about 140 for now, and then we could change it as we need it. So let's go down over here on the side, and we're going to find our image view that we want to pull in here. All right, where are we at? There we go. Drag and drop this guy over here. And I want to resize it a little bit because we need some space. I'm not sure what size we'll use, but for now, for the most part, we'll just try to go with something like this, and we can fix it. And let's do label. That is right here. We're just going to bring in label. Yeah, there we go. So one label will be for the title. The other label will be for the description of what we're trying to work with here. Perfect. Excellent. So now we have these guys in place to get started. All right, so now that we have this built, we need to set up the constraint because we want to ensure that this will work on all devices, not just one device. So if you click on the image right here and come down to the right at the bottom here, and let's choose aspect ratio for our first selection and add one constraint. All right, so now what I have is I have this highlight analysis. We've changed it, so we need to do the same thing with the labels. So what I'm going to do is select both labels if I can here, and I am going, actually I need to highlight them like that, and then I can come down to constraints, and what I need to do is these two need to equal, and they need to equal height and width together, and hit add two constraints. Perfect. So what happens is these two, when they get smaller, they automatically change the height. Now, here's one thing I noticed I did wrong here is when I did do the label, I didn't attach it all the way to the end. Let me see if I can undo this real quick. So yeah, I undid the constraint because I meant to put it all the way over here, and I didn't. So let's do that real quick. Now there we go. So I noticed I forgot to do that. Now we got the constraint. Perfect. So that's what you need to do is you need to go back, make sure these guys are highlighted like that, and so forth. All right, so now we need to add them all. Since we did them separately, we did the labels and these guys together. So if you kind of highlight this whole area and come down here, we need to pin these guys together like this. There should be 10 constraints, and add 10 constraints. Excellent. Very good. All right, so now what you can do is to see if this works, because the concept of this was to make sure that this will work on any device. So if you come down to the bottom here, if you click on it, you have all these different devices. So let's say I went into the Maria on that one. Let's say I go into iPhone X. It looks like that. So if I go over to, let's go to the iPad Pro, it looks fine. If I go to this guy right here, well, we were using 8. We go down to SC, it works fine. I'll go down to 4S, which I don't know how many people are using it, but people do still use the 4. So as you see, the content stays the same, so we're good. It equals out what it should be, so that's good. It'll work the same on each device versus having to create this. This is like when you're creating a function in software development, and they use the method called dry. Do not reuse. Do not use the same thing over. Do not repeat over. Basically, do not repeat the same process over and over. So in this case, if we didn't set this up, this constraint, we would have to figure out a way to make it work on all the devices. So they have this nice setup that allows us to prevent that from happening. Allows us to, hey, you know what? We set up in one location. It's a universal idea, and it works straight across the board. So that's good. All right, so now we need to get over to our editor and do some changes here. So let's let's do the it's gonna be a little different here. We'll go to manual. So what we need to do is choose our in this case we want to do our table view cell. So if you come up here and choose manual, final app, and we need to come down to my final app and then find table view cell.h and click on it, and this will allow us to get what we want to get over here. Let's create some more room here, or at least move this guy over a little bit, allow us to have some extra room. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to click on the image for the first thing. I'm going to control and click what we've been doing for the first 8 weeks here. All right, so I'm going to give it some type of name. I'll call it cell image view, and hit connect. All right, cannot insert a new outlet connection, could not find any information for the class name table view cell. All right, what did I do wrong here? I have interface table view cell, UI table view cell. All right, so this is what I did last time. Hit cancel. This happened to me before, so I am going to save this. I'm going to close the project and open it and see if that fixes it. Maybe it doesn't fix it. I don't know. Let's close project. Where you at? Close project right there. All right, so let's I'm actually going to close Xcode real quick. I'm going to go back into Xcode, maybe. All right, so we have my final app. I'm going to open it again. Let's see if anything has changed. Cell image, you know what, I'll call it something else. Cell image, well, I'll call it cell image view. And let's see here, UI image view. That's fine. And hit connect. All right, so we got a problem here. Let me see what's going on. All right, so I played around. I did some Google searches, and you know what? It's really weird because I couldn't find anything, but seems to be some problems with Xcode, and it's something with the indexing. It's a bug. So I found my. This is probably not the first bug because we've actually ran across this bug before. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to manually code it to see if it works. It should work, but not 100% sure. So let's do this. Let's come down a line here because we need to set up our properties. I'll type in property, parentheses, or this is how you had to do it before, week, and then it's non-atomic. And then I'll do space IB outlet, and then I'll do UI image view, space, and then I'll give it our name. I'll call it cell image view. Perfect. So let's see if this works. All right, let's see here. Maybe thought I would have did something else. So I copied this. I actually wrote this already in Notepad. So let me take what I had in Notepad and see if it makes a difference. Paste it. That's the same thing. All right. So actually already what I did here is this line right here is going to be title. This is going to be description. So I've already copied and pasted these, or copied them in my text pads. I'm just going to paste them over so I have to type them again, but you'll have to type them out. I'll actually put these, if you take my class, I will put these on the blackboard and you can just copy and paste them in. And so this right here should, if I click on property, it should show that it's been connected. So let click it. Let me click it one time. Ah, there we go. See, main storyboard to cell image view. Click on it to cell title right here. Perfect. Awesome. So this is a workaround. If you can't drag and drop and it's telling you something, don't worry about it. This is a workaround. This will work fine. It's not the ideal way of doing it, but it works. So that's all that matters at this point. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to go over to our table view controller. Well, let's get out of here first. And let's go over to our table viewer H, controller H. All right, perfect. So now we need to import a library in here. So if we come in here and do hashtag import, if I can spell right. And then when we do import, we'll do in parentheses or quotation marks, we'll type in table view cell.h because we're just pulling in the table view cell that we just set up. All right, so we have our interface here. Controller, so we need it. This table view H is allowing us to import that library in that we need to grab from. All right, so let's indent in a little bit and let's do ns array and we'll do title and we're going to set up arrays here. We haven't talked about arrays in this class, but we'll talk about a little bit here. So we'll do a description and now we'll do one for image. Oops. Perfect. Awesome. All right, so now let's go over to table view controller M. And we have some things here that's a little screwy up, but we talked about we'll knock those out later. So let's purge this information here. Take it out. Perfect. Now what we need to do is set up our 3 different arrays. So let's do this. We'll set up one and then we'll copy and paste other ones. Title equals at, and then we'll have a left bracket and a right bracket. Okay, and when we do the left bracket, let's do this real quick. When we do the left bracket like at right here, we're gonna have at, and then we're gonna have, looks like we're gonna have to have another at, and then we're gonna put double quotation marks, comma, and then we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values. So we're going to come down and do the same thing, comma. Actually, I lied to you. I need to put this here. Just trying to make it look almost perfect, but that's always tough. All right, let's see. Title equals, I got it messed up here. Title equals that. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it being close. So and we'll put values in here later. This is what I mean by copy and paste because I don't think we want to do this over and over. So we want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this will be our last value. And this will be our bracket right here. I moved it down too far. So I will move this up. There we go. Title equals that. Perfect. All right, so now we need to do the same thing for description. And we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values as well, and we're gonna do the same thing for image. So to make life easy, because I don't think you want to type that every time unless you really enjoy to type. So I will change this value to description. There we go, because it's just picking up our NS array that we set up. And then I'll paste these guys in here, and then for description I will do image this time. And also you notice here it's just picking up our array that we set up. Perfect, image. All right, so now we have these guys in place, so this is good here. All right, so let me pull up a version of Chrome so I can show you what I want to do here. All right, so we need to, let me go, let's do this. Go to google.com, and what we want to do is enter landmarks in. So if we did USA landmarks, all right, so as you see, landmarks are Disneyland, Yellowstone. All right, stuff like this. So Grand Canyon, perfect. That was on my list. So what we want to do is we click on it. We're going to have some landmarks, and we're going to set up some images and so forth. So all we need to do is we need to grab our images. So we need like 6 images. So our first one obviously is going to be this. So I'm going to right click on Save Image As. Just give me a second here. Alright, so I am going to need a location to save this at. So I'm just going to save it here. And then what I'll do is when I save these images, I'll throw them out on the blackboard. So I'll call this one Grand Canyon. Oh geez, that was not right. It said it is an HTML file. Not what I want to do. So you know what, let me go back. Let's do what we did in class. Let's open image in new tab. This is what I should have did in the first place. It's small, but it's fine for what we're trying to do here. So I'll call it Grand Canyon again. If I can spell right. All right, cool. So now we have that going. The other one is Statue of Liberty. So we're going to have like the title is going to be Statue of Liberty, and then the description will be something like this right here. And that's what we'll have in our thing. So open image in new tab. No problem, it's small, but that's what we need on the screen, so it works for us. I'll call it Statue of Liberty and Justice for All. Yeah, all right. High school coming out of me. All right. Yellowstone National Park. Has anyone been to any of these? I have not been to Grand Canyon. It's on my bucket list. Let's see. Right click. Open image in new tab. Haven't been to Yellowstone. Been around it, but not to it. Yellowstone National Park. Here, great things about it. All right. Let's see. So that's 3 of them. They have Disneyland, isn't that's interesting. I'm not going to use that one. I am going to use Golden State Park Bridge. Been here before. So awesome. Totally recommend it if you ever have the opportunity to come here. It's great. So Golden State Bridge. That's 4 right there. So we need 2 more. Empire State Building. Let's see here. What else can we? Where is this at? Wow, that's beautiful. I've never been here before. That's in Wyoming. All right. I'm going to choose the Arches National Park. That was actually on my bucket list to go to last year, but we decided not to because it was a long drive from there to Seattle. But we'll get there. All right, so Arches is going to be our 5th one. And our last one, Fisherman's Wharf, is in San Francisco. It's beautiful. Glacier National Park, I hear great things about that. I haven't been there in Montana yet. Let's see, wow. Let's see if there's something else. I was hoping to see whatchamacallit on here. Mount Rushmore. I don't know how Mount Rushmore is not a landmark. It is on here. I've been here. This is phenomenal. I actually drove here from Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh area, and it took us 22 hours to drive here. Obviously we didn't drive it straight. We had to stop a couple times, but definitely worth it. All right, cool. So we got 6 of them, so that's awesome. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go get those real quick. 1 second. So I have to go over to my image assets right here, and I have these guys, and I'm just gonna drag them, and I'll throw these out on the thing as well, the blackboard, so you have them out there. So now I dragged them over here. I have Utah Arches at Golden State Bridge, at the Grand Canyon, Mount Rushmore, Statue of Liberty, and Yellowstone Park. Perfect, excellent. All right, so now what we need to do is put these in order. So we see that they're in that order. I guess it doesn't matter how we do them. Yeah, it doesn't matter how we do them. They don't have to be in complete order. So let's see here. Let me find my files. All right, so let's go over to our code real quick. Right here. And now we're going to put some values in here. All right. So I'll just start off with how I have them in order. Mount Rushmore.jpg. And then what I'm going to do is input the values here. Arches.jpg. And then I'm going to do Golden State Bridge.jpg. So whatever I have, I've copied over. We want to use Yellowstone.jpg. And let's see what we got. Statue of Liberty and Justice for All. And last but not least is Grand Canyon. All right, excellent. So that's good. So we got all 6 of those guys in there. All right, so I'm going to need to get some information here for this. So what we need to do is we need to put the title. So let's put this right here. So our first one is obviously Mount Rushmore. So I'll put Mount Rushmore. Then we want to put a description. So let's go over here and find Mount Rushmore. I just found her. Where's she at? It's in Keystone, South Dakota, but I need to find the. That looks like that's in Arizona. Okay. Let's find. All right, Mount Rushmore. I'm going to copy. All right. I want to get the address and put it here. So this is Keystone, South Dakota. So let me copy this here and come back over here for description, and I'll paste that in there. All right. So next one is Arches. So I'm going to do this for the rest of them. Let's see here. Arches. Where you at, my man? I guess I should do this in order. Where's this at? Huh. That is really cool. I never heard of Antelope Canyon. All right. Arches. All right. Arches National Park. All right. So this is. We don't really have an address, so we're just going to put Utah because that's all I have here. So we will come over here and put Utah. San Francisco, I don't know if they have an address for the Golden State Bridge because it's a bridge. We could probably just put San Francisco. Yeah, like they have here. We could just give it this address. So, Control V, and I should update some of this here. This would be Arches, and this would be the Golden State Bridge. If I can spell. I can't spell. All right, so now our fourth one will be Yellowstone. So let's go up to Yellowstone National Park. That is actually in Wyoming, so in this case, let's just put, well, it's everywhere. It's in multiple different states. So we, in this case, we'll come over here and we'll put Wyoming. So we'll put Yellowstone Park. I'll put National Park. I don't know if that'll all fit in there. Hopefully. That's pretty big. I'll put Nat Park because I'm not sure if it'll all fit in there. And I'll just put Wyoming. Perfect. Next one, Statue of Liberty. That's Ellis Island, but let's see what they have here. They got New York, New York. We'll put that in. And we know that's the Statue of Liberty. And we know the address is Control V, New York, New York. And the last one's Grand Canyon, which is in Arizona somewhere. And I don't know the address to that as well. So it's just Arizona. So we'll just keep Arizona in there. So let's say Grand Canyon. And we'll just put Arizona. Simple as that. Perfect. So this right here, what I did is I've set up a a title for all this information. We've set up the description and the image, and we pass it in. So this will complete video number 2 for today, and then we'll actually talk about number 3 to make this all work, because we still have to code. So thanks for watching, and once again, this will, if you're taking my class online, this will be posted on the Blackboard. If you're taking a different class, then I'll get it to you somehow.